everyone. Welcome to The Beauty Matters with me, Lin Clive, on ALB UK TV. Today, I'm joined by Geoff Cox, producer at Top Model and Fashion London, and the board trustee at Top Model Foundation for sick children and children in need. Hello, Geoff.
Hi, Lynn. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for being with me today.
My pleasure.
Geoff, I've introduced you as a producer at Top Model. I want to start straight by asking about what is Top Model, because everyone is interested to know more about this organization.
Well, Top Model is in its 13th year. It is the leading model search awards and fashion event in the UK. And it's held annually. We have 5 different categories: editorial, commercial, over 25s, men, and international worldwide. And it's a launch pad and launch career for young girls and boys and more mature girls and boys that want to get into the model industry or back into the model industry.
So it opened doors for opportunities, as I've met many models who've been in Top Model, winners or either just competing. And their feedback is always very positive, that it opened doors of opportunities, because sometimes models struggle at the start.
They do, and the problem is there were always model scams, but with the increase of social media presence, there's more and more scams than ever. People get scouted by fake agencies. They go to these photographic studios. They pay hundreds, sometimes thousands of pounds for a model portfolio that's absolutely useless for the modelling industry. It may be very nice for grandma's mantelpiece, but it's no good for the model industry. So we take girls and boys under our wing, we coach them, we give them training, we obviously put them through the experience, we mentor them. We've got a whole team of mentors who are usually former winners or former competitors of Top Model that have come back to support the next generation. And it works extremely well. We hashtag the Top Model family all the time, because we have quite a wide spectrum now of people that are helping with coaching and training and mentoring. And every year we get some really great feedback. And of course, more importantly than ever, we see our girls and boys go off and launch careers in various different avenues, sometimes acting, sometimes the creative industries, but obviously modelling is the initial focus.
You mentioned the point which is very important about the scam. We know that there are agencies who, I don't know, they look very real, but the reality is they are scam. You did a chat about it before. I've watched it. It's very interesting. So for people who wants to know more about what's happening in modeling industry in terms of scams, you need to watch Geoff's talk. It was very helpful. But that leads me to the question of how would you know if that's a genuine agency or it is a scam?
Well, this is the problem, because these scams are multi-million-pound businesses. They are very glossy. They have very flashy, very slick websites. There's lots of mentions of clients they work with, potential clients. And it's all fake. The whole premise is that they say they're an agency. Their profit entirely is not in getting anybody work. It's purely making money from either charging people or getting them into a studio to shoot a portfolio. And you have asked $1 million question: how can you tell the difference? Yeah. Well, due diligence. Ask lots of questions, do lots of research, find out what is the proper way to do it. And then if somebody says differently, you have to trust your instinct and just not go for that opportunity that often is too good to be true.
So always be careful, especially when things are too good to be true.
Yeah, and definitely watch the Geoff talk, hashtag Geoff talk, that we did on Sunday. It's on the topmodel.co.uk, Instagram, IGTV, and on YouTube at topmodeltv.co.uk. There's a specific program about model scams, and it's fascinating, not just from the fact that I'm talking to people that have been scammed, but one of the girls actually turned the tables on a scammer and videoed them scamming them.
Very interesting.
it's fascinating to watch. It was very brave of her, and this is potentially one of the biggest scammers that we've ever come up against. So it just shows you that you can do the right thing. You can make sure that you're looking after yourself as well as being conscientious. But the sad thing was that we had a lot of reports about this person, and the police did nothing. They weren't really interested, even though there were lots of different reports of this person doing the same thing. So the model took matters into her own hands, and unfortunately, this scammer picked on an experienced model, not somebody who's a young want-to-be, and they turned the tables on them. So it is fascinating. So thank you for mentioning that, and I certainly hope that if it stops one person getting scammed, then it was well worth recording.
And well done for what you're doing. You are educating people who, when you start, it's quite difficult to educate yourself, to be honest, in the modeling industry, because when you Google something, you will find different articles saying different things, or people just adding like knowledge. You don't know if it's based on real things, or if it is just people chatting about the modeling. So what you're doing is really interesting and important for new model want to be, especially.
I mean, I appreciate you saying that, but obviously that is a huge goal of Top Model. I mean, we raise tens of thousands of pounds for charity every year as well. So we have a number of different focuses, but the main focus is discovering potential new talent, and also those individuals discovering through the Top Model process whether they've actually got it or not. Because some of them think this isn't for me, because they think it might be, I can sit on the sofa and everybody will come to me and tell me how amazing I am. They don't realise that actually you do have to get out there and put yourself out there and promote yourself. And we will help people and coach them with that. We're not a management company. We are purely a process where we are discovering talent and hope every year that some of that talent will go on to be successful. And so far, every year, there have been successes.
Yeah, that's what you're doing so far is amazing. We'll talk about the charity work, but I want to go back to the it's kind of open for more diverse models. So I've noticed there's a plus size. There are like also for mature or plus 25 models. So do you think modeling industry is evolving now to open doors more for not all like certain heights and certain sizes? Like there's more diversity now.
I think it's really important that those of us in the industry that do have any kind of profile are pushing diversity. But ultimately, it's a designer who chooses the look that they want. And the one thing we always tell to models is there is opportunities for everyone, but don't take it personally if you're rejected. It's not personal. It's just that your look, figure, facial features don't fit what that particular brand or client is looking for. So yes, we are very diverse. We have plus size girls in our commercial categories as well as petite. The over 25s category is 26 to 35 and 36 to 45. The lady Louise that won the older category this year is a former model from the 90s who worked in Paris, Milan, London. She was signed with a professional agency. She'd gone away, had a career, was married, family. I thought I'd quite like to get back into it. So there are opportunities for all sorts. We start recruiting or we start applications from quite a young age as well, from 15. And different girls, different boys have different looks. And so we decide whether they're good enough for Top Model, first of all, and then we'll decide which category they're most suitable for.
And also it's for a good cause. So you support sick children and children in need. Can you tell me more about, in the last few years, achievement you did? Because I know you break records in
Well, we set up our own foundation last year because we have supported a number of children's charities and raised over £250,000 for children's charities. But the difficulty is more and more people are wanting to be transparent, and we want to know more and more what the money we are raising is being used for. And rather than handing over a big check every year to a specific charity, what we decided to do was set up the foundation. So we are now actually donating the money we raise to lots of different individual causes direct, where it's making the most difference. And we're finding as well that because we're a non-profit, we don't have any paid employees or managing directors. Some of these charities are big business now, and they have highly paid CEOs. I have a moral problem with that. I've got no problem with somebody earning a living, but if we're earning £250,000, I'd rather the vast majority of that is going towards the causes direct, rather than just paying bills and overheads and things like that. And I think it comes down to financial management. And we decided from the very start, we're a very small team of trustees. Nobody takes any money out of the charity. It's purely any extra money that we raise goes to causes. I've just today signed off goodie bags full of toys and gifts and treats to be sent to 200 children with cancer and leukemia who are isolated, living across the length and breadth of Scotland. Now, it's hugely satisfying to be able to do that.
Very well done. You're doing. I'm impressed.
Well, it's a fabulous thing to be able to do, but in previous years, of course, we wouldn't have been able to do anything like that, because all we were doing is handing one amount to a charity. So we're very excited about this. It's obviously a new charity. It started off very successfully. We've just signed up our first ambassadors, who are extremely important in promoting the work that we do and helping us to encourage other people to help with fundraising. And I think more and more now, it's so important that you need to be transparent. People are very generous. People, I think, generally are very kind, very generous, very supportive. And I think in return for that, they want to know where their money is being spent. And we hear so many stories of money disappearing or being sent abroad and nobody knows where it's gone, and people at the end of the line not getting the help. So for us, apart from a few distributors, we are actually dealing directly with those that need the money or need the products. And we're finding that it's actually working extremely well. So again, thank you for mentioning that, because any publicity for the charity is great publicity.
It's amazing job what you're doing, and we should definitely highlight it as much as we can. But now that lead me to the question: what's going to happen in Top Model after COVID? Are you going to have Top Model this year, or is it postponed? What's going to happen?
Well, Top Model was originally due to take place in March, and we had to postpone it 8 days before, which is when the lockdown finally kicked in, which of course was quite frustrating because everything was in place, but absolutely the right decision. We rescheduled for September the 19th for the shows, which we thought, well, that's plenty of time. I am still confident the shows will happen. Nobody knows what the restrictions will be, and whether it happens will depend on what restrictions are in place. And if we can put on a show that is warranted of our finalists and the Top Model name, and that the audience can get the maximum help, maximum enjoyment from. Yeah. We do have a provisional date if it's postponed again for February, during London Fashion Week in February, but we don't want to do that because then it would have been delayed a year, and that would have been really frustrating for the finalists. So if we can find a way to put the shows on within whatever restrictions are present come September, we will. But first and foremost, the duty of care we have to our finalists and our audience is obviously the priority.
Well, obviously, it's a global pandemic and everyone gets affected from what happened. But I think you are the best person I can ask about what's going to happen to the fashion after the COVID. What effect it has, impacts on it?
Well, it's a conversation I've had quite a lot with colleagues, and I did a Geoff talk show on it as well, coincidentally enough. And it's one of those things which everybody is split on opinions. I think a lot of people are discovering internet buying that maybe didn't use it before, and I think a lot of people will stick with that. You will never, ever take away the experience of going shopping, whether it be for, things for your home, luxury goods. People like to go shopping, go into shops, touch things, items, have that experience. So, and you don't have that with online shopping. Online shopping is purely a supply and demand. It's not an experience. So I think things will change. I think it will be survival of the fittest. And I think those brands or businesses that adapt, I think will be the ones that survive. And unfortunately, some will fall by the wayside because there just isn't the demand for their products.
But now it's one of the big topics is the fast fashion. So I think what's from my point of view, what's making this fast fashion big is social media. It's just like, for example, me personally, when I scroll through Instagram and I see every day there's a trend and every day there's new product or whatever. It make you feel in a way wanting to copy or wanting to be involved in what's happening. We realize as well that after when the COVID happened, our environment is better. We saw the impact of fashion on our environment. But what do you think about the fast fashion?
Well, the planet is healing itself during lockdown. And that is becoming more and more obvious. And I hope that is something that we can sustain. But I fear that it won't happen because there's too much money to be made in fast fashion. And the only way people will stop producing it is if the demand stops. It's as simple as that. It's like going back to what you said earlier about there's always been this attitude of very slim, tall models. The designers want that look. So while they only want that look, that is all the supply will be satisfied. And it's the same with fashion. I think brands need to become a lot more aware. I think fast fashion at the moment, it's cheap, it's disposable. People literally will buy a T-shirt, go on holiday, and then dump everything they took on holiday. I hope there will be a realization from a lot of people of actually, if I spend just a little bit more and keep this for longer, it's better quality. While you've got shops that buy in large quantities, stack it high, sell it cheap, there will always be a demand for that. And it's just, I think, finding the balance to reduce the impact that the fashion industry has and hopefully do our bit for the planet as we all should be doing. And everybody can do their bit, but commercially, it's the same as anything. It's the driving force is the people at the top that are making all the money.
Yeah, all what you're saying is right. And shopping habits, I think, changed because me personally, I would love to go to the shop and physically and try things. Now I'm getting more into the online shopping. At the start, it was more of like, I'm not going out. Why do I need to buy outfits? But recently, it started to be everyday delivery. Like every day I have a delivery. So honestly, it's like all over the place, the mind. Even the shopping habit for me is changed.
I can very much relate to that. I mean, I like to think of myself as being very internet savvy, even though I'm probably older than everybody else in the fashion industry. But I have been doing it a long time and I am open to change. And during this lockdown, I've discovered something called Amazon Wardrobe, where they send you clothes for free. And then you only have to pay for what you don't send back. I mean, it's how can you possibly compete with that? Where somebody it turned up the next day, I tried it on, what I didn't want, I sent back, and what I kept, I paid for. My boys are 21 and 23. They are very trendy. Sometimes I can't believe how much money they pay for their T-shirts. That's definitely not fast fashion. But there's constantly deliveries turning up, and it was the only way to shop. And I needed things like new shoes and things like that, and it was ideal for that. So I think that is something that I will still use, but will always miss. Yeah, I will always miss going to the high street or going to particularly the big department stores. I think some of them are so wonderful that you can literally spend half a day wandering around them and buy nothing. So that's part of the shopping experience, and I think that we will never lose that. And the luxury market will survive because obviously it has the revenue and it has the ability to be able to do that.
Geoff, you joined us today and it's your birthday week.
Yes.
Yeah. When I was preparing for the show, I spoke to a few of your friends who've been previous guests on Beauty Matters, and we prepared a little video for you. So shall we watch it together?
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Seeing as we share the same birthday week, happy birthday to us, Geoff. I just want to say a massive thank you for all your help and support over the last year and a half. Honestly, I can't thank you enough. So I hope you have an amazing birthday. Have a few too many gins, have one on me as well. Take care and I'll see you soon.
Hello Geoff, a very happy birthday to you, my old friend. Old not like the age way, but yeah, the duration way. 50 is not an old man, 51 is neither. So wish you all the best for your birthday, and I hope you get many more, and wish you all the health and success in your life. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday, Geoff. I hope you have a lovely day and thank you so much for everything you've done for me.
Happy birthday, Mr. C. Hope you have a fantastic day and a fantastic year ahead. A big thank you for everything that you do for us and all the opportunities that you've given us, which have led to some of the biggest achievements of my life. You're always there for me and always there for us up and coming models, giving us the much needed advice and counselling that we could do with. So thank you so much. Keep up the good work and have a great day.
Hey Geoff and Lin. Hey Geoff, it's a surprise. Many happy returns of the day. Credit goes to Lin to organise it. She requested me to send a little video to send you a surprise happy birthday at her special interview with you, and hope it's going well. Look forward to seeing it. Have great fun with Lin at the interview. Lots and lots of love to you both. Take care. Mwah. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed watching the video, Geoff. I can see, as soon as I asked for the video, everyone was so excited to say happy birthday to you. I can see how much you left impact on these people's life, and they classify you as a friend.
I'm speechless. I'm a little overwhelmed, to be honest. It's I can't lie. It can be a thankless task. I've got a wonderful team that works with me. They all work very hard. We all work hard together, and it can be quite thankless. But that kind of thing really does make it all worthwhile. I mean, every year we get nice messages from mums and things that say how it's changed the confidence of their daughter or their son, and how it's been so good for them. But to get something like that so personal is lovely. Thank you very much. It's certainly made my birthday week.
That's perfect. I wouldn't ask you what you planned for your birthday in the lockdown. Just try to enjoy it.
Well, actually, I'm following government guidelines very tightly, and some of my friends, it's the first opportunity to see a lot of my friends, and they're actually coming over in groups of 4 in 2-hour time slots.
Oh, perfect! So you have it already.
I've booked my friends in throughout the day on Sunday to come over, just have a glass of wine or something and a chat, and they all know, and they're very cooperative. They totally understand that we have this current situation, but like me, they've been in lockdown as well, so I think the opportunity just to go out, so it will just be the 6 of us each time and 2 meters apart, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Enjoy it.
Thank you for asking. Thank you.
Geoff, you took me back to socializing. We all need to be out and socialize, but the best event to do so is London Fashion Week. And we don't know what's going to happen now. So London Fashion Week is in September, so it's not far from now. It's like a couple of months. So do you have any idea about how London Fashion Week will be in September?
Well, very shortly, in the next couple of weeks, the British Fashion Council are going to be doing their first all-virtual fashion week. It's usually the men's collection season in mid-June, but they're bringing in female designers as well. And every show will be from one venue and streamed live with no audience in the room. So that's already what we are planning to do for September. I'm very confident that London Fashion Week will happen. So the day before the top model shows, the difficulty that I have as a show producer, and I'm quite happy to share this with you, is Top Model is very much a very busy audience-led event. So to do social distancing will be complicated. London Fashion Week is very different. So what we are doing now, we are putting together a project where we're going to be filming all of the designers that are taking part. We'll just have maybe 10 of the top influencers and social media movers and shakers and a PR agency. And then we will release the show as a broadcast. So there's still an exclusive release of the designers' collections, but it's in a controlled environment, still have the models, still have hair and makeup, but actually all the designers also get a video from it as well. And we've been able to do it very cost effectively, because obviously we've been able to strip back in a lot of the cost to be able to produce something fabulous, but designers can then use it as a relaunch for their brand, may I say, after this shutdown. And also it's going to be cheap enough that people that are looking at their budgets will think, well, actually, I'm getting a lot out of that. I can afford to do it. So we are putting those contingencies in place. And it's actually something, I mean, I've been in this industry a long time, and it's actually something I'm really excited about because it's a very new concept. All the designers I've spoken to about it have said it's a really good idea, and it's just now down for each designers and brands to decide if they've got the budgets for it.
It sounds very good idea, and now I'm excited for it. I still hope that one day we're gonna go back to London Fashion Week social event and go there and mix with people. Now what we are doing is trying to adopt, and the ideas you are coming with are amazing. I'm still very keen in going to the show.
Well, maybe you could come along and be one of those 10 influencers. Maybe you should come and maybe you could do that. Then it won't be the same. There won't be a traditional front row or even any audience. But I still think it's going to be hugely fascinating. And I think people who are important in the industry and have some value to bring to the designers, if they've got access to the room, they'll have exclusive access to the designers' collections for the first time. I think it's a very exciting concept. And let's face it, Lynn, you and I, just between you and I, you know, there's lots of people that go to fashion shows and they're actually famous for just going to fashion shows. They don't actually do anything to promote the show as such or promote the brand. So what we're doing is fine tuning the people that are there, 10 people of very high value who are going to promote the labels, promote the brand, look after designers, promote themselves in the process if they're social media influencers, which of course is all part of the process. And I'm really looking forward to it as a concept. Yes, we need to go back to traditional shows, but I think that people will start to discover that they can actually spend their money more productively, and the days of spending thousands and thousands of pounds on a fashion show and not having control over who sees it, the buyers and everything else, I think those days will be behind us. Maybe not for the really big brands, but I think for the small and medium-sized brands, I think they're really going to be showing clever rather than just showing the way that traditionally everybody has shown.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be great and exciting. It will be my pleasure to be involved in and support in any way I can. Just to close with you, Geoff, I have been doing Beauty Matters for quite some time now. I know that people are always struggling at their starts and always really get drained through trying to get into modeling or trying to be involved in something which should be a bit easier. What you are doing is making things more like organized, more clear, and everyone needs that. So you have my support in every way I can. Thank you so much for being a guest with me.
It's been an absolute pleasure. If I can just give you quickly the website addresses, the top model address. The top model address is www.topmodel.co.uk. The charity is the topmodelfoundation.org, and fashionlondon.uk is the address for designers for London Fashion Week. I've had a ball. Thank you very much for inviting me on, Lynn.
Thank you for being with us, Geoff. Have a great day.